Welcome back for the second half of the scenario playthrough with Lord Hart. And Comfortably Numb is the name of the scenario. It's a custom created scenario I found on the Archon Discord server. And we are at round 8 now, which means all of the black cubes will get removed one last time from the map. We are level 3.5. We only have bronze units. We have the Citadel. We have the City Hall, but we don't have silver dwelling. We haven't used yet the scenario specialty, which could mean replacing castle units with necropolis units, because we haven't lost any castle unit, and we didn't use the necropolis specialty or ability either. Okay, our hand limit is still 5. We can draw 4 more cards. So Sentinel Shield, 2 attack, a magic arrow, and necromancy. Playing after winning combat other than quick combat, you can reinforce one of your units. So we didn't use this because we still don't have necropolis units yet, but hopefully it will change soon, or I'm not sure what should I wish for. Let's put a blue icon cube here as well. We have a settlement though, that's great. And now we are going to read the next Astrologer's card, which is the gold dragon. At the beginning of next resource round, all players gain 5 gold. That's good. We are very lucky with the Astrologers. But we no longer have access to extra movement points, so we have 3 and 2. So black cubes have been removed. Let's do revisiting this field. So we get 3 gold from the water wheel. Here we get to resolve the artifact as well, so I'm not interested in the Buckler of the Knocking. Greater Nose Flail, +2 attack, but this unit suffers -1 defense, or reroll any die. Set resource or treasure die on the side of your choice. That's not bad considering our position. Let's go with the Cards of Prophecy. Okay, and final step is getting to level 4, which means we get to have 2 expert effect now for Lord Hart, and we also get the specialty, level 4, gain 3 gold. So let's remove this and gain that 3 gold. I'm just wondering, do I really want to get it right now? Let's reverse this, because secondary hero will trigger this magic spring again, and let's put back the dragon scale shield to our hand, and now we are using estates, which is giving us 3 more gold. Okay, it's a better order this way. And then let's see what we will generate. So we are going to have 2 building materials, 1 valuable and 15 gold, 20 gold if we want, or 15 gold and +1 movement point because of the Astrologer's card and the City Hall effects. And what we need is 8 gold, 6 building material, and 3 valuable for the silver dwelling. So I think what I want to do is secondary hero visits this field, and then we can set that's tricky. We want to have 4 building materials, but in this case we get to roll 2 treasure dice. So what we would need is that one of the treasure dice should show resource side, and then we want to change that resource die to the 4 building material side, which I guess is just one of the outcomes. So yeah, only one. So how to use this the best? So this is also, like, two of these sides are helpful for us, which means 44% chance I'm not going to roll any of these two if I'm just letting it do. If I take this, then the chance I'm actually going to get this one is 11/46, so 11 divided by 46, so like 43% chance. So I either giving myself 45% extra probability, or I'm giving myself 67% extra probability. Yeah, let's go with the free roll of this one. So hopefully there will be a resource. Yes, okay, there is a resource, and now we are using the card's prophecy, special ability, and set this side, which means 4 building materials. And now we can flag this. Because we are level 4, next turn, actually I should have skipped the dragon scale shield and then we could have flagged that. I haven't thought about that. It would have been wiser to do. But anyway, this card is also very useful, so let's just not dwell on it too much. Okay. Round 9. We are running out of time. That's what I feel because of this positioning. But I'm going to give myself an extra movement point for this turn instead of gold. Okay, so round 9, we are going to discard Necromancy. And that's it. So Lord Hart will have 3 movement points by default and 2 for the secondary hero. We generate 15 gold because of the astrologer's card. 2 building materials and 1 valuable. And let's read, because round 9 is giving you the War Council section. The betrayal is a different one, right? Well, I'm not sure how long I need to read this. Okay, anyway, let's start from here. War Council. The light of dusk streamed through the folds of your tent, illuminating the War Council table, where miniature flags casted elongated shadows on the map before you. Your officers leaned closer, brows furrowed over the parchment spread before them. You hear some murmurs about the ancient necropolis between some of them, but it quickly dissipates as they notice your attention. Count the amount of necropolis faction cubes on your castle town board. 2 faction cubes or less read the reason, 3 or 4 attrition, 5 or more betrayal. Okay, so we need to read the reason. Lord Hart, a sudden call interrupted the meeting. High Priestess Genevieve stepped into the tent. Her usual serene face held a hint of amusement. You might want to see this. Outside, a ragged yet enthusiastic crowd milled about. A burly man, a blacksmith by the look of him, stepped forward. My lord, we heard you need help. We may not be fancy soldiers, but we can swing an axe and hold a shield. Give us some weapons and armor, and we will fight by your side. A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Genevieve placed a calming hand on your arms. Their spirit is commendable, Lord Hart. Perhaps with some basic training. You may reinforce any number of your bronze and silver castle units for half price, rounded down. Then you may search for the peasant's neutral unit card from the bronze neutral unit deck and recruit it for free. From this point, if you would gain a negative morale, you gain 2 negative morale instead. Okay, I could reinforce, but I don't have anything to reinforce because my bronze units are already reinforced and I don't have silver units, not yet. So because this has to be read, at the beginning of round 9, actually I can't use it because I'm just about to buy silver dwelling and I'm just about to buy silver units, but this happens before. And I don't see any instruction to, like, we can do this at any point of the turn, not just at the beginning. So it sucks, to be honest, but that's what it is. And the negative morale situation we need to keep in mind. So at least we read it, which I'm happy. I'm going to use the city hold for additional movement point for Lord Hart. And now we are going to buy the holy grounds, so 8 gold, 6 building materials, and 3 valuables spent like that. We still have 22 gold, so we pay for let's think about it. If we can bring additional amount of gold, then that would help us. So let's not buy anything yet, just not yet. So secondary hero definitely claims this mine. Had I done this earlier, yeah, this would be a different situation. It costs a lot because then I could have bought the holy grounds at the end of the previous turn, and then that would mean we could use this free reinforcement situation, but I just wanted this card so badly I oversaw this option. So I'm claiming this mine for first, so that gives us 2 building material. Now we have 4 production. So that was movement number 1. Movement number 2, visiting the water wheel for 3 gold. Okay. And then Lord Hart, this is a free movement. Claiming this. So let's see. We don't have the card prophecy artifact to decide what we want. So whatever we roll, it's an artifact. Greater Nose Flail is actually a good card for us. So I'm going to take that one. We have 3 more movement points to spend. So 1, 2, going to ignore the resource. And I'm not going to ignore the resources because otherwise I wouldn't be able to progress. So let's collect the resource as well. 6 gold. Campfire gives us 6 gold. So let's see now how we can make our army stronger. We have 15, 24, 31 gold left. So that's enough to purchase upgraded zealots and crusaders. I haven't forgot about the peasants, but in last video I made the mistake of having 6 units in my army, which I want to avoid. I'm not going to use them because I'm going to hire silver units instead. So reinforced zealots plus crusaders cost 24. Let's pay the price. So this is 15, 24. Okay, now we have a formidable army. but we are behind with movement points. We will see if we can do anything about it. We can give ourselves 2 more additional movement points for with the city hall. So let's just keep in mind. Okay, that was round 9. We'll have run out of movement points. So round 10, we need to remove one of our cards. So let's just remove Magic Arrow. Or actually, no, because I'm going to draw magic cards without spell. That's going to be a problem. So let's just remove an attack card. Lord Hart will have 3 movement points. Secondary hero will have 2. Town actions are back at table. And then secondary hero comes here, gets valuable, and then Lord Hart 1, 2, 3 enters to the Necropolis field tile, sorry. And then secondary hero will come back to here. Once again, nothing else to do, so we go to round 11. Let's just double check we don't need to read anything. Okay. Nothing. Okay, next time what we need to read is when you move into the field with the Dragon Utopia. Okay, so we replenish movement points. We give ourselves 1 more movement point for the City Hall. For Lord Hart, we produce... Oh, sorry, I forgot to read the astrologer's round. Each player must even discard all cards from their hand and draw the same number of cards. Crap. Okay, we do this as it happened for the last turn. 5, and now this is a new turn, so I get to remove any cards I want. So there will be casualties versus a level 4 enemy for sure. So necromancy actually makes sense this time. Knowledge does not. And I don't need diplomacy right now. It's 4. And I can't use color right now, but I can use it in the middle of the fight. So yeah, but this hand unfortunately is significantly worse than what we had previously, and this is sucks because we are going to do a level 4 fight in this turn. Okay, anyway, we are going to generate 10 gold, 4 building materials, and 1 valuable. Is there anything we can buy? Yes, we can reinforce for 10 gold our Crusaders. And we are going to do the fight versus the Necropolis neutral hero. So if I remember correctly, that was level 4. Combat against neutral units with difficulty of 4. It does not tell me whether I need to use the siege cards. But against neutral units with a difficulty 4, I think we don't have to. So level 4 is 3 silver. Boy, I'm glad I went for hard, because impossible would be literally impossible, I think, for us. So 3 silver units. Let's see. Nomad, that's good. Medusas, acceptable. Pit Lords, not so good, but could have been worse. 6, 7, 7. Our units are 9, 7, 6, 6, 5. Ballista takes its turn and assigns damage to the Medusas. Griffins start. We use expert leadership. So we get to gain 2 cards and we get a positive morale token. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, I shuffled it. I was just a bit confused by drawing back the diplomacy, so these don't really help us for the fight. But choose one card from your discard pile and add it back to your hand. So I'm going to use Scholar, and I'm going to use my other expert on leadership. I'm going to use Morale to get it back. So you know I can draw 3 cards. Okay, now we have a magic arrow, but we can't boost it. And we have 2 necromancy cards. We can also reroll a die with the cards of prophecy. But Sentinel's Shields is great. So yeah, this is not all worthless. And we are using the morale to draw another card. This is knowledge because it has a damaged shield or card protector. So yeah, I don't have expert left, but at least the magic arrow can cost twice. I don't know if I need to spend movement points to extend the fight, because this is a fight against neutral units, I guess so. So let's just keep it in our mind. Okay, so range units will be faster than Medusas, and with Zealots, I think we have a good option to get rid of the Medusas. They will also prefer the Zealots, and they don't really wipe them out, so I'm not really worried about the Medusas. I'm most worried about the Pit Lords with 4 attack. So here's the deal. I think I want to attack the Pit Lords with the Griffins, draw out their retaliation with the Sentinel Shields, and after that Crusaders could finish the job, hopefully. And Nomads would prioritize Crusaders, and Crusaders with 2 defense. That's a very good fight for us. It's in our favor. So yeah, Griffins come here, Crusaders here, and let's see, Umbirds. Do I want to cast Magic Arrow? Yes, why not? So I'm going to use basic knowledge with Magic Arrow so I can put it back to my hand. And as I activate my Griffins, I cast 1 damage on the Pit Lords. And then Griffins come here, attack the Pit Lords. Unfortunately, roll a -1, so that's just 1 damage. They retaliate, and now I'm going to use my Sentinel Shield, discard 1 Necromancy card. I get 3 defense on the Griffins. Pit Lords roll a -1, so 4 -1 is 3, 3 defense. Griffins retaliate. I don't paste a black cube on the Griffins because they have unlimited retaliation. Once again, a -1, so 3 damage on the Pit Lords. We need 2 more. Okay, so now we have a 7. Now something to decide. Do I want to get rid of the Pit Lords, which they will go after the Crusaders though. So is it a problem? Crusaders, Nomads. Crusaders will be overwhelmed somewhat. It can survive. And I can reroll a die with the cards of prophecy. I think that should be fine. Therefore, ignore combat penalty against adjacent units. We need 4 more damage to generate. So we have 44% chance to take care of the Medusas, but Marksman could finish the job. So yeah, let's do that. So Zealots shoot on the Medusas. That's actually -1. So 3 versus 1 defense, 3 damage on the Medusas. Couldn't wipe them out. Now, Nomads activate first. From the 2, they go for 1, 2, 3. Well, they go either for the Crusaders or the Zealots. I haven't thought about this, to be honest. They are going to roll +1 Zealots, -1 Crusaders. Zealots. So they go versus, or they are picking the Zealots. So they roll 3, attack. I don't want to use any of my card. 0 modifier, 2 damage goes in, and Zealots don't have combat penalty against adjacent units, so they're shooting back. 4 versus 1 defense, 3 damage goes in. Now Pit Lords come, they can only choose to go against the Crusaders because these are silver units, prioritizing silver units. They are rolling a 0. So 4 versus 2 defense, 2 damage goes in. Crusaders can now retaliate. and they can't use their special ability because that only impacts attack and not retaliation. So 4, 3 versus 1 defense, 2 damage goes in. Pit Lords are out of the game, out of this combat at least. We have a 6 on the marksman. They are faster therefore than the Medusas as they have a tie and we are the attackers. There is a combat penalty, but that's still enough. 2 versus 1, since we had a neutral roll. So that's good enough. 2 plus 0 is 2 versus 1 defense. Medusas are defeated before they activate. So Nomads are the only ones in action. Crusaders are the next to activate. And no matter what I roll, I think, yes, it's a 0, 4 versus 1, 3 more damage goes in. Nomads are defeated. Okay, so no damage, or at least no turning down and no units defeated. That's great. We are just running or having a fight against time, which is probably not the right way to put it. We are running against the clock. But we didn't spend any additional movement points, so that's great. We captured the Necropolis town, which means now we can use, I guess, its actions. Let's check. So, prepare Necropolis action. Can only reinforce units. You can use the Necromancy ability. You cannot build in the Necropolis town until you have flagged it. Okay, now we flagged it. So theoretically I could build it. I don't know if I want to due to scarce situation of resources, but if I want to, I can. So maybe I can. Probably I could use a Mage Guild as well. And at this point, now that I have flagged, that makes sense. And I can, for example, use a Mage Guild there and build a Mage Guild in town, things like that. Anyway, I have 3 more movements to do. I captured the Necropolis town, although I'm not sure if that was actually a condition. We defeated a level 4 enemy, so that's certainly a step up here. And all of these fights are level 4 as well. Lord Hart is back here. So now the question is, so probably I want to go towards the Dragon Utopia, considering I have 3 more rounds to reach. And then secondary hero can collect these things once I do 1 more level 4 fight. Because that would mean level 5 and then secondary hero can auto-claims all of this. Okay, so I have 3 more fields to, 3 more steps to do. Let's see, secondary hero certainly has visited this one. So secondary hero will go 1, 2 steps. Hope I can still do this, but I think, yes, secondary hero should have the 2 movement points left. So that is a roll of a resource for your resource die, and then with Cards of Prophecy I can actually pick the side I want to. So what do I need? I need, first of all, I need to put the Holy Grounds here, which I forgot. I built this, but I forgot to put it here. Okay, so for the gold dwelling, I need 9 valuables. I'm going to produce 4 more, so that's 10. If the secondary hero claims this later, maybe 2 more. So I think we are going to be okay with that. We are going to have 5 valuables. That's not so good. If we want more gold units, we would actually need +2 at least. Okay, let's select the 2 valuable side in this case. So now I have 6 and I've used this card. I also gain 3 gold, sorry, with this card. Okay. I don't want to use the diplomacy card, and I don't need the necromancy card either. Okay, so secondary hero used all of its movement points, so now Lord Hart uses 3 of his movement points from the Necropolis castle. 1, 2, 3. We need to rush towards the Dragon Utopia, but I think we can still do it. Yeah, we have enough movement points to do it. It's just a question whether we will have enough creatures to do it. That's a different story. And that gives leads us to the end of round 11. 12 is an astrologer, so let's do this before I forget. Each player immediately rolls 1 resource die and gains the rolled resources. Okay. 4 building materials. Now we get building materials when we not really need it anymore. So 3 movement points for Lord Hart and 2 movement points for the secondary hero. I definitely want to get rid of this card. I keep the diplomacy for a reason. I will let you guys know when we get there. So our hand limit is still 5, and these are our cards. So 2 magic card, 2 might, and 1 card irrelevant for a fight. So let's start with we should start with Lord Hart. The question is, are we trying to do that level 4 fight? We should, but that means we only have 1 movement point. Because we have 3 movement points, so 1, 2, 3, we need to finish the fight in 1 round, which we did last time, but that's not a guarantee that will happen again. Can mean we are in a tough position. We can do 2 damage with the magic arrow, 1 more with the ballista. Once again, that's 3 silver units. We have 2 silver units, 3 bronze. Let's try to figure it out. And I'm waiting with my secondary hero because I try to auto-resolve this wheel once I'm level 5. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are doing this, it's official. Here. So let's see, let's shuffle the silver deck again. Nomads, okay. Liches, I don't like them, but okay. Zealots, they are slow, which is good. Okay, we have ranged enemies. Let's see the turn orders. So Griffins will be fastest, and then Zealots, Liches, Nomads, we will pick one. 1 for sure, Ballista assigns 1 damage to the Zealots, so 4 more damage will be needed to wipe them out. Theoretically, we could use the Griffins. The question is how we will get rid of the Liches in time. That's the problem here. We need to, because they are not, that's the problem with ranged units, right? They are not generating like retaliation. Unless somehow we get rid of the nomads and then we are trying to go for the... So Crusaders can trigger a fight with the Zealots. I'm not worried about the Zealots. In this game there is no such thing as waiting. If there was, or there would be, if there was, I would use it right now with the Griffins, but there is no waiting. So Crusaders will attack the Zealots. That's a favorable fight. Griffins can initiate a combat with Nomads, and then Nomads will also attack Crusaders, and Crusader retaliation will most likely wipe them out, if not the Griffins themselves. So Halberdiers then could go for the Liches. and zealots plus marksman could go for the liches. So that's, I think that's the, yeah, that's the way how it should be done. So with the griffins, we are going to attack the nomads. That's the end of this little thinking. And we try to wipe them out by adding +2 attack to us. So 5 plus our roll, which is a 0, 1 defense, 4 damage goes in. Nomads are wiped out. That's good. Now there is a tie between zealots and liches. Zealots go first. We are going to cast a magic arrow amplified. By the way, we need our experts back. So amplified by +2 spell power. 3 damage goes into the liches with this cast. We can't get it back to our hand, but that's okay. And now with a combat penalty versus the last row, back row, zealots shoot with a double 0, 4 more attack. 4 attack plus 0 is 4, no defense on the liches side. So liches are actually taken out with this approach. Now comes either the marksman or the crusader. Marksman will not generate any retaliation, so let's try with them first. They shoot twice, but they have the penalty, double -1, so that's actually 1 damage. Second shot is going to be a -1 again, so 3 damage on the zealots. And now crusaders activate. They go up 3 spaces, and you can reroll every 0 if I want to, but it's a +1. 4 + 1, 5. So 5 more damage goes in. Zealots are wiped out. Okay, no questions asked. That's good. And I think I still haven't lost a single unit in this playthrough, but still, that Dragon Utopia will be problematic. Okay, so that means we defeated the level 4 enemy. We can roll 2 treasure. Actually, that means we are level 5 now. Let's just resolve that. I don't need scouting. So resistance or water magic. Let's go with water magic, because then I will play it here. Will boost us our magic arrows. Or actually, this is a permanent card, so I'm not going to play it, because then the ballista would not be here, I suppose, because you only have 1 permanent card active. And this is experience, so I'm 5.5 now. And now secondary hero can come here, claiming this building material or pit immediately, as we are level 5.5 now, so level 4 enemies can be auto defeat. And that leads to the conclusion of ending this turn. So the reason I wanted to keep the diplomacy, because now we have the luxury of auto-resolve this field without having a fight versus level 5 enemy. And we need gold. It will not help us with the current resource round, but it's definitely helping us with adding 5 more gold to our tally, which we are also doing with the city hall. We don't need more movement points. We have 6 more movement points, and the Dragon Utopia is just there. So I need to make ourselves as strong as possible. I have to flag this. So we need to make as strong ourselves as possible, and then do the fight versus the Dragon Utopia. Level 7, that's 2 azure and 1 gold unit. Good luck with that without gold units. So we definitely need the gold dwelling, and we definitely need gold creatures, archangel preferably. Yeah, so meaning I'm going to keep diplomacy. I'm going to discard water magic. Round 14. So we are going to generate 15 gold with the city hall, 1 valuable, and 6 building materials. Yeah, the gold is what's going to cause us some problem. So theoretically we could avoid, no we can't. We really need to buy the gold dwelling. We can't use this card without it, just for silvers or bronze units, which will not help versus the Dragon Utopia. Right. So if I go back here, I collect 5 more gold, and at the end of this turn, I will be able to reveal the Dragon Utopia tile and read the relevant section. That's the plan. Okay, so I can draw up to my hand limit, which is now 6. For 6. I have 2 experts. I'm going to use the estates specialty to gain 2 more gold. And let's see what we have. So, secondary hero will roll a treasure die, an artifact. Okay, let's see. Wow, Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment. Gain an expert effect or draw 2 cards. And Circuit of Counterpoise. This is good to ignore spell effect casted by the enemy, but we don't need that. So Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment is absolutely great to have here. Why do I have 3 here? We only have 2 experts. Sorry, I made a mistake earlier. So that was one step by the secondary hero, and there is nothing else a secondary hero can do for this particular turn. So yeah, maybe coming to the town would make sense. And then Lord Hart, one step spent using the expert on diplomacy, visiting this field without having to need to fight. We gain no experience, but we flag it, flag the mine, get 5 gold as being the first one to flag it. So that was one step. So I need to mark this one. And then 1, 2, going to reveal the Dragon Utopia. Okay, and I think I'm going to rotate it like this so I can access it via the trading post, although maybe I will not have this option. Let's see what the scenario tells. Read this section when you move into the field with the dragon. Okay, not to the tile, but to the field, so not yet. Is there anything I can do? I could buy Mage Guild, but I want to wait. I want to wait with the Mage Guild for the next turn, if I want to do it, because that gives me immediate cards into my hand when I'm doing the fight versus the Dragon Utopia. So instead we are going to buy the gold dwelling now. So that's 10 gold, 9 building material, and 4 valuable. So let's do that. Buying the gold dwelling. And I'm really sorry that I've not used the Necropolis units. Where was this? I'm not sure. We don't need it. Okay, so we have the gold dwelling. And then let's see, first of all, how much amount of gold we have. So this is 12. This is 5, 17. This is 20. Let's just replace it with 2 gold coins. So we have 22 gold and 9 building material and 3 valuable. So for 22 gold, what I can get is a few side Archangel, or, well, that's it. Yeah, we are not even close to upgrade them, and we are not even close by 10 gold to purchase these both. So yeah, meaning I will have 2 extra gold, maybe something else with the trading to buy the Mage Guild. Yeah, I think Mage Guild plus Archangels is what's doable, basically, once we visit the trading. Okay, so that settles it. We are going to purchase Archangels, and then I think we want to... That will be a big question, which unit we would like to leave behind. Maybe the Halberdiers, but they have a defense. But I think Halberdiers will be the selected unit. And then the final thing, before we move into the next final turn, is we decide on our hand. So this is what we are going to do. 1, 2, 3. We don't need to spend movement points versus Azure enemies. So we go to the trading post, trade. We are going to purchase the Archangels. We are going to purchase spells. Here we are going to get 2 more artifacts. We are going to have 4 negative morale. So we're ending up 3 tokens here. But that's fine, I guess. I don't know what will be the consequences, but I hope it will be fine. And then last movement point, go here. With secondary hero, there's nothing we can do to boost our hero. So yeah, I think that's it. And then regarding our hand, I like how it is. It's a might one, but we will get to roll another card, and then we need to shuffle this. Maybe our hand will not be strong enough, but with the Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment, we can draw 2 more cards. We can draw 1 more card at the beginning of the turn, so maybe this Greater Nose Flail could be... But this is actually useful for a fight. If I draw Lord Hart Specialty or Knowledge or a Spell Power without having... Actually, I'm going to have a spell in my hand, though, with the Mage Guild, so maybe it makes sense to risk this. Or at least maybe not this one, because if I'm using basic attack, I can just use the Nose Flail as well with the other option as well. So maybe just discard this one, and then let's see. Let's roll the dice. Yeah. Okay. So moving to the last round, let's see what the astrologers proclaim. Each hero suffers -1 movement. That means I can't get additional artifacts. But at least it does not mean that I'm losing the scenario. What a bad timing of this. Jesus. I would really need the 2 artifacts in my hand. Anyway, there's nothing we can do. So discarding this card, actually drawing 2 more. Sentinel's Shields, Card of Prophecy. Okay. That is something. I'm going to purchase Archangels then. 20 gold and 1 valuable. And as I said, Halberdiers, bye-bye. We'll talk about the turn or the arrangement later. So champions and Halberdiers will not be used for this fight. I want to use the Helm of Heavenly Enlightenment right now, so I can see those 2 cards. 1 more defense, and here we go in other states. So I'm spending getting 3 gold. So now I have 5. And then I think the plan is that I'm purchasing the Mage Guild in the Castle town, which immediately gives us the option to search the spell deck twice. So that costs this amount of money. And then I have 7 more building materials, 1 gold and 1 valuable. which I would use to pay 5 gold for the Necropolis Mage Guild to do this one more search of the spell deck. And the reason I could do that because now I own it, so I have the option to use the town actions, and it has actually a Necropolis, so this was falsely turned off. And that gives me free spell. Now in the trading post, I can do trading, so I will have 5 gold in my hand to do that. So first thing first, let's buy the Mage Guild in the Castle town. So now I have everything but Blacksmith and the Brotherhood of the Sword. So let's do, I'm not going to go for the Inferno. And we have Slayer or Remove Obstacle. Burst and Burst. But there will be 1 gold opponent, sorry, Slayer can actually be useful. So let's read. Slayer, when attacking a gold unit, roll an attack die and apply all the results except for a -1. After resolving this attack, draw 1 card. Okay, and then we have Dimension Door and Counter Strike. Remove the black cube from the selected unit. That unit is now able to perform a retaliation action again. In order to make this work, 2 spell power would be needed to go in, so I think I'm going with Dimension Door, which says move a hero up to X number of fields, ignore any obstacles and fields in between, and resolve the last one normally. So that allows me to visit the Warrior's Tomb there with Lord Hart, because then I can move it to the Dragon Utopia, move him to the Dragon Utopia. So yeah, that was 1. So 1 movement point spent, sorry, the secondary hero, not the secondary hero. So Lord Hart's 1 movement point spent to visit the trading post. And then I will do 1-to-1 trading between building material and gold. I need 4 gold, so I'm going to sacrifice 4 building material. Just let me double check, I always checking the exchange rate. So yeah, I'm selling 1 building material for 1 gold. So I'm getting back 4 gold, and I'm spending 5 gold to do a search here. And 1 more spell. Do I need Counter Strike? No. Chain Lightning I definitely want. So select a unit and another 2 units closest to it. Allocate X number of damage starting with the first selected unit. Or Murph. You can reroll each of your attack dice once during this activation, this combat round, this combat. Chain Lightning it is. Okay, so now we are somewhat boosted, but not yet, not finished yet. Moving here, that's our very last movement. Now we can get, well, first action is 2 negative morale, right? But we get, once we get a negative morale, we get it twice. So actually, so 2 negative morale, that's the first, and that means we need to put a black cube here, and then we get another, so that would mean 2 more cubes because we need to dispel twice the second one. And now we have 1 negative morale and 3 faction cubes at the end. And we are just going to use, okay, now we are searching the artifact deck. We are not using the Surcoat of Counterpoise. Speculum is not useful. Search the spell deck twice, or get 1 spell power, then discard up to 3 cards from your hand to gain +1 spell cover discarded. So this is definitely useful. And Golden Bow or Red Dragon Flame. During this combat, your range units ignore combat penalty. That sounds very good. Or a unit of your choice gains, a range unit of your choice gains 2 attack. I will go with that. So Speculum, and this one goes back to here. Okay, so now we have a very good hand using the Dimension Door, and that's our very last action, entering the Dragon Utopia. And fingers crossed. Let's see what the story brings us. Is there anybody there? Okay, actually, I think this should have been a tile, not the field, because then there is a different section. Read this section right before the neutral combat on the field. So yeah, it's a bit misleading. I should have read this, but anyway. Is there anybody in there? A chill wind whipped around the utopia. It wasn't a castle, not a tower. More like the shell of a colossal fish washed ashore. You reached out to touch the walls, but felt not stone, but smooth, cold metal. It felt a lion. The entrance opened with hiss. As you and your troops stepped in, the air grew heavy, thick, with the scent of sulfur and something metallic. Corridors snaked away, curving into vast egg-shaped halls that seemed to pulsate with an eerie luminescence. You pressed forward, the silence broken only by the rasp of your boots on the slick floor. Every turn revealed another impossible curve, another baffling chamber. Was this some arcane prison, a forgotten tomb? Then a faint thrumming, a beacon in the oppressive silence. You hurried towards it, the pulsing growing stronger until you reach a central chamber unlike any you'd seen. In the center, a swirling vortex of light crackled with arcane energy. Count the amount of Necropolis faction cubes on your castle town board. 2 faction cubes or less, read the breach section. 3 faction cubes or more, read the enemy of my enemy. Lord Hart. You see High Priestess Genevieve standing in the chamber's eerie glow, her once welcoming face edged with betrayal, her voice, usually warm, dripped with ice. Now I see you for who you truly are, a feelingless puppet. Search the silver unit deck for a zealot card and add it to the enemy side for the Dragon Utopia. Read the final battle section. Final battle. I don't find the final battle. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I think we are good to go. We need to add, and this is why I didn't want to do the faction cube things, but we failed at the very last step with these double negative morale things. Anyway, we need to add zealot to the enemy side. I think we are good. I don't know where the final battle is, but when we complete the scenario, it's here. And then the breach we should have read if we don't have 3 or more faction cubes. Okay, so our enemy will be 2 azure monsters, 1 gold and 1 zealots. Let me just double check. 2 azure, 1 gold, and we need to add the zealots. So zealots are right here. 2 azure. Let's shuffle the azure unit deck. Hydras and azure dragons. So azure dragons are 19 speed, hydras are 5, zealots are 5, and then let's see the gold, and then we will check the special abilities. So hydras I think are okay. Dread knights are the gold ones. Okay, so Azure Dragon has 3 defense, 8 attack, 10 hit point, 19 initiative. If you resolve a -1 on the attack die, the target gains a paralyzed token. Ignore any spell effects and damage from specialty. Then Dread Knights, when this unit is targeted by a retaliation attack, it gains +1 defense. Hydras ignore retaliation attack. This unit attacks up to 2 adjacent enemy units, 7 attack, 3 defense, 8 hit point, 5 initiative. And zealots ignore the combat penalty against adjacent units. Okay, Ballista will start, and we will add 1 damage to the Hydras, that's for sure. And then Azure Dragon is faster than any of us. Can we do anything as an immediate effect? I mean, with the Sentinel shields, yes. We haven't modified the layout, but that's over the bridge now. Water under the bridge now, sorry. So I guess we just have to go with this. we have one expert left. Just keep that in mind. So we have one immediate search the spell deck with 2. We have haste and force string. We are going to take force string, target the space on the combat board. 2 units adjacent to this space suffer. So it's a damaging spell once again. And Azure Dragon are going to attack the Archangel, and we are going to... Oh, when combat begins, draw 1 card. That's the Archangel special ability. Let's not forget about that. Which is water magic. It's not helping right now, but maybe later. And maybe the expert effect, but I think you have to play this first before you can use the expert version. Okay, so Azure Dragon attack the Archangels. I'm going to use the Sentinel Shield. The only question is which card do I want to discard, and that will be water magic. So I add 3 defense for the Archangel. They have 6 defense. Azure Dragon attacks with 8 attack, +1, 9 attack, versus 6 defense. 3 goes in. Archangels get to retaliate. Please, they are not paralyzed, but they roll a -1, so 5 versus 3. It's 2 damage goes in to the Azure Dragon. Now Archangels activate with 11. And we need to decide which spell do we want to cast, and whether we want to use this as an immediate effect or I think I'm going to use it as an ongoing effect, so no ranged penalty. Let's wait with this. I'm not sure. So I only have 1 expert. I think Chain Lightning is, but we can't really target the Azure Dragon. That's the problem. With Frost String, we could target Zealots and Dread Knights in the same time. But I'm more worried about Hydras. So let's wait with that. Slayer could be used versus the Dread Knights, but it's very luck based. No spells yet. I will try to deal as much damage to the Azure Dragon as much as I can with the Archangels. And but I'm also worried about the retaliation. Which could wipe out the Archangels with a... Yeah, I'm going to put +1 attack on the Archangel, that's 7, and for the retaliation, I'm going to use an expert with defense, so +2 defense. So let's see, 7 attack, 0, 3 damage, 3 defense, so that's 4. Now, Azure Dragons retaliate 8 versus 5 defense because of my expert defense. 3 + 2 is 5. So if you resolve, but that's for attack, not for retaliation. So 7 versus 5, 5 damage goes in, and now Azure Dragon's retaliation has been drawn. Now the Griffins come, and what we are going to do with the Griffins, we are move here, we use the Greater Snow Flail, which is +2 attack, and until the end of the combat this unit suffers -1 defense, but Griffins don't have a defense. So with 5 attack, we are going to target the Azure Dragon. 6 versus 3. 3 damage goes in. So 9 damage has been dealt to the Azure Dragon. The next fastest unit, we have a tie break. Dread Knights, Zealots. Zealots will go first. And we shoot on the Azure Dragon. And if needed, we use Cards of Prophecy to reroll a die. But we don't need to. 4 plus 1 is 5 versus 3 defense. 2 more damage goes in. Azure Dragons are gone. We didn't need to focus down the Azure Dragon and defeat it. But only 2 of our units remain, and we didn't have to use this card. Now the Dread Knights will prioritize Archangels. And we use a defense on Archangels on a basic effect. So Dread Knights going to attack with 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 defense, 1 damage goes in. And Archangels have retaliated once. So no retaliation. 2 more units we have, Crusaders and Marksmen. So Hydras are going to go on the Griffins plus Crusaders, unless we move the Crusaders somehow. So Hydras have 3 defense and there is no retaliation against them. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this. We still can cast a spell. But we won't use it yet. Just thinking what would be the best course of action. We need to get rid of the Hydras somehow. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm using the Golden Bow, unit of your choice, gain +2 attack. Marksman will get +2 attack 4, and they are going to shoot on the Dread Knights twice. And now we don't need to deal with penalty either because Dread Knights are close to us. So 4. Jumanji, I guess. 0. So 4 plus 0, 3 damage goes in. And now we lose this card and we get to shoot again. That's no additional damage dealt. And Crusaders are faster than Zealots and Hydras. I can't use this right now. So this is the last time for us to use a spell in this particular round. Okay, I will cast a Chain Lightning, starting from the Hydras. So that's 2 damage. And then the closest unit either goes down towards the Crusaders or goes towards the Griffins. So +1 is Griffins, -1 is Crusaders. +1 Griffins. +1 Griffins, -1 Crusaders. I don't like that. And then Crusaders from here. It's one of our units. +1, 0, -1. +1. So Griffins get the damage. Okay, and now Crusaders will move up 1, 2, 3 here and attack the Hydras, and you can reroll every 0 on this unit's attack die. So I'm going to try to reroll. going for a +1. It's a -1, but now I'm using Card of Prophecy. Still -1. Can't believe this. Okay, no damage. Hydra's going to retaliate. They get to roll +1, so that's 8. 3 damage is enough. 6 damage, of which 3 damage is enough to turn this down, and 3 damage goes on the other side of the Crusaders. And now Hydras cannot access the Archangels, so they go for the Crusaders, and we don't need to roll. These Crusaders are gone. Okay, that was the first round. No, sorry, Zealots. Zealots going to shoot on the other Zealots, but they have combat penalty. That's 0, so 2 damage goes in. So that is the end of the first round. Next round begins. First of all, Ballista allocates a damage to the Hydras. We need 5 more damage on the Hydras. I can assign 1 more damage with this card. I don't need this. Yeah, I'm assigning 1 damage to the Hydra. So I'm taking this spot and not to hurt my own unit. And then Archangel will need to draw the Hydra's retaliation from here. They are going to roll a +1. That's great. 6 + 1 is 7 versus 3. That's 4. 4 damage is actually enough to kill the Hydras, right? 6, 4, 7, 3 defense, so that's 4, and 4 damage was already dealt. So the another Azure unit is down. No retaliation. Awesome. We really need that. Okay. So the next fastest unit are the Griffins. Griffins are going to come here. They have 0. I don't need this card. They have 0 defense. So the question is, do they attack the Zealots or do they attack the Dread Knights? We need to wipe out the Dread Knights as quick as possible. But also Zealots will have a chance to... Actually, if we attack the Dread Knights, then Zealots will have a good chance to wipe out the Dread Knights before they activate. So let's do that. So Griffins attack the Dread Knights. 4 versus 1 defense. 3 damage goes in. Dread Knights retaliate. 5 -1, 4. 3 damage is enough to turn down the Griffins. And then 1 damage goes in on the other side. Now Zealots get to activate, and they shoot on the Dread Knight before it's too late. So 4 + 0, 4. 1 defense, 3 damage goes in. That's more than enough to kill the Dread Knights. And only the Zealots remain. And we are faster with the Marksman. So we are going to shoot twice, but faced with a combat penalty. Ranged combat penalty. So that's 1 damage. And 2 damage. So it's all in all 3 damage. Now Zealots activate, attack the Griffins. No combat penalty against adjacent units. 2 damage. So Griffins actually survive this. Barely. And they get to retaliate. 3, 2 + 1. No defense on the Zealot side. So the Zealots are defeated. And we get to put our faction cube on the Dragon Utopia. And we actually managed to do this. I hope I didn't make any major mistakes, which is not easy with this game, never easy. But I think after playing 2.5 hours, we managed to get victorious on hard level. Now on impossible difficulty, I think I need to think about it, but I don't think it's possible, or at least it will be very, very tricky. We managed to use our movement points wisely. We use the city hall action sometimes for movement points, and that was necessary because otherwise we would have been timed out with the very last tricky astrologer's card. So that's great. And I think we used our secondary hero as well smartly throughout the playthrough. So as usual, please give us a like, hit some comments, let me know if I made any mistakes. I would love to read that because I try to learn from it. Maybe it doesn't appear so after all, but I really try to learn from it. And it's very, very difficult. You need to keep your focus throughout like 2.5 hours or sometimes 3 hours. It's not easy, but I definitely try to do my best. I really loved this playthrough, even though I was not using Necropolis units after all. So I'm kind of disappointed with that approach, but up until the last fight, I didn't really lose any castle units. So that is the reason why I didn't really have Necropolis units on my own team, my own setup. But yeah, I will definitely give it another try later sometime to see how it would work with the combination of Necropolis and Castle factions. For now, I'm ending this video. Thank you for watching, especially for those who are still with me after 2.5 hours. And see you next time with another scenario.